and welcome to Cinema Wellman. I'm your host, David, and first of all, happy 2026. We are celebrating here today with a little homemade coquito, and we wish you all a healthy and happy next 365 days. Let me imbibe here. Delicious. Since everyone and their brother can do an end-of-the-year recap, why can't we do our own version of that here at Cinema Wellman? We did do it a couple of seasons ago, but you were denied this minutia last year by Alvin and the Chipmunks. We here at Cinema Wellman lack the invasive software to analyze what you watch, but we can certainly tell you how we spent our screen time in 2025. This is, admittedly, mostly Stat Geek stuff, but you're looking at a Stat Geek, so this shouldn't surprise you at all. So here we go. 2025 was the fifth highest yearly screening total on record. 673 total movies. 211 were given the thumbs up. That's 31%. 394 or 59% got the meh. And 68 or 10% got the dreaded Cinema Wellman bomb. I really have no problem with that breakdown. Essentially a 60, 30, 10% split in those categories, which may be close to what the splits would be if I looked at the entire 10,000 plus film playlist. The middle ground, or I refer to as meh, can sometimes be deceiving because some of them may deserve to be included in the thumbs up, and others of them may deserve the bomb. At the end of the screening, in those instances, the film does nothing to distinguish itself for inclusion to either of the extremes, so you get meh. I don't want you to get the idea that all of those 394 mehs were a waste of my time because I can enjoy a movie without it getting a thumbs up in the archives. Speaking of time, how many minutes is 673 movies? Well, it's 50. These 673 were 54,356 minutes, and that makes the average runtime 82.1 minutes, which I would love going forward. Everyone, please do that, and I'll give you another 15 minutes on top of that. That translates to 905.9 hours, so 37.7 days. So a lot of time, but that's not news. Next, 17 different genres. Here are the 5 genres with 50 or more films. With 59, a tie between shorts and mystery, suspense, thrillers, my favorite genre. Next, at 60 films, horror. Next, foreign but English language films, 67, and those are films from the UK, Australia, Ireland, any foreign country that speaks English. And I don't know why I separate them, but I've always separated them. I can't remember why I decided to do that. Maybe because I didn't think as a film student that a film from the UK was foreign because they were speaking my language. I don't know. But number 3 on our list is foreign, and those are movies I had to read. 69 of those. At number 2, comedies with 81, and the genre of the year was drama with 126. Now, I'm not usually one for dramas, movies or real life, but film noir movies are classified as drama-crime in the Cinema Wellman database, and at least 100 of those movies are film noir, so a lot of drama. Next up, 31 different countries. Here are the countries with 5 or more films. And I'm going to go from top to bottom. USA, obviously, the predominant number, 539, because, that's self-explanatory. Next, United Kingdom, with 49. Then we have France with 13, Japan with 10, Italy with 8, Canada and Germany tied with 7, and Mexico and the Netherlands tied with 5. And I'm mentioning countries, and I want to have you thinking about countries because later on this season, as the United States and Canada and Mexico co-host the World Cup, I am going to do another World Cup of cinema. And if you remember the last time we did that 4 years ago, we took the World Cup bracket and I took the body of work of each country's film history. Now, I'm going to do it differently this year, and I'm going to go with the matchups are going to be the most recent film I've seen from each of the countries. And if I haven't seen a film from the country, I've got to get on that and make sure that I represent. Next, 18 different platforms were used to watch films this year. And here are the platforms with 5 or more films. Amazon Prime rental movies, 20. Canopy, free, always, 34. Amazon Prime, 41. Netflix, 42. Plex, I salute Captain Quinn, 86. And the platform of 2025, and if you remember, I mentioned all the film noir movies, TCM, 379 movies screened on TCM this year. I love that channel more than a lot of things. Only 11 visits to the AMC theaters, which, if you remember, led me to canceling that subscription, and that same total for the year on HBO Max, BO, whatever they want to call themselves, led me to canceling that subscription as well. So the cancellation of those two subscriptions, which totaled $43.99 a month, made me more open to spending $3 or $4 on rentals, which is why Amazon Rental made the top 6 for 2025. Next up, we screened movies with 10 different ratings. And if you were thinking, oh, there aren't 10 different ratings, you'd be correct. Turns out that 339 of last year's films had ratings that no longer exist. P for passed, AP for approved, GP, which meant, what did that mean? General participation? I forget. There is an upcoming episode about film ratings, so I'll make sure that I answer that. GP. I know what PG is. Anyway, and M for mature, and that was once used in films. And 122 of 2025's films were not rated or unrated, and that happens a lot with foreign films. The number one rating of films screened in 2025 was AP, or approved, which makes sense because of TCM and all those film noir movies that I love. They're all rated AP. Let's look at things, the breakdown by decade. The teens, 1. I screened something from 1915. The 20s, 11. The 30s, 142. The 40s, 108. The 50s, 84, the 60s, 53, the 70s, 34, the 80s, 18, the 90s, 18, the new aughts, I guess, 28, the 2010s, 45, and the 2020s, 129. And that puts our average at 1971.1, for whatever that's worth. And one last category worth mentioning, 513 different directors. That's quite a few, but I'd like to highlight 5 directors, the 5 directors that I saw 5 or more of their films in 2025. None of them are household names, so I wanted to give them a little shout out. 5 films directed by Robert Z. Leonard. Mr. Leonard went 1, 4, and 0 in his 5 films. So that's 1 thumbs up, like 1 win. This is the soccer form. 1 win. The 4, they're not losses, they're meh. And the 0 are bombs. So 1, 4, 0, that's pretty good. That's fine. And that was a mix of drama and comedy. And there was also, he directed that one silent film that I mentioned. No, he didn't, but I did see his, whatever. Leonard was a 2-time Oscar nominee with 162 directing credits in a career spanning 6 decades. Next, 6 films screened, directed by Robert Florey. Mr. Florey went 2, 4, 0 in his 6 films, which included some drama, some comedy, and a little war. Florey's B movies were known for running over schedule, yet also known for coming in or under budget, which is wild. I wonder how the studio heads felt about that. Well, on one end, it's not costing them money, but it's taking them longer. Who knows? Next up, 6 films screened that were directed by Frank McDonald. Mr. McDonald also went 2, 4, 0 in his 6 films, which were mostly comedy mysteries. Baltimore-born McDonald worked for almost every Hollywood studio at one point or another during his career that spanned over 40 years. Next, 6 films screened, directed by Leslie Salander. Mr. Salander went 0, 6, and 0 in his 6 films, and I'm about to explain why this isn't bad at all. Leslie Salander is generally considered to be the most prolific director of Western films of all time, with at least 107 to his credit, according to IMDb. All 6 of the Salander films I screened were Westerns, and old Westerns for me are usually entertaining, but nothing to write home about when the sun sets, which would explain, meh. It's not like I saw this, I didn't dislike it, but it's like, I'm not, texting Larry and say, get on this, you need to see this. So that's that with the meh, okay? And the director of the year is 7 films screened, directed by Richard L. Baer, B-A-R-E. Mr. Baer, who I assure you never made adult films, went 3, 4, and 0 in his 7 films. So these top 5 directors didn't have a bomb among the 30 films in this little sample size, which is why I'd go back and watch more of the films they made. Richard L. Baer, or Dick, his nickname was Dick. Oh, so he went by Dick Baer? Okay. Dick Baer lived to the age of 101 and made mostly short films from the early 40s and 50s before moving on to television. Baer's television career included 7 episodes of The Twilight Zone, big fan, 34 episodes of Petticoat Junction, fan, and 166 episodes of Green Acres, which means he must have been good friends with Arnold Ziffel. Did you know that Arnold Ziffel once substitute taught for me at the Hudson Memorial School in New Hampshire? I have the paperwork to prove that. A. Ziffel, in for Dieterling. Well, that is a wrap for our Cinema Wellman 2025 Unspooled. We hope you're again with us next time as we take a look at some composers of note. You get it? Who provide the soundtracks in movies that help make us feel all the feels. And until then, Happy New Year again, and take care. Cinnamony.